Hey, what's up, guys? I figured I'd just do a rapid fire round on like all the different CCI devices I've used over the years. I probably wasted a ton of cash. Some of these were better than others, and some of them have been pretty good. Other ones have gone either in the dumpster or even like injured myself a little bit more. I had some flare-ups from them. Not medical advice, and some of these may work for you and may not work for me. Not everybody's injury is the same, so it's best to talk with the doctors about what to do, what's right for you, because we don't have the same neck or the same injuries. Yeah, again, not medical advice here, but let's run through these. So, let's start off with curve correction. So this is pretty similar to my initial X-ray. This is a little bit further in the game, but I knew I needed cervical curve. I knew my cervical curve was basically gone here. And I needed to do something about it. So, like one of the influencer doctor in the space, he said like curve correction is, um, you know, something that might help some people. It's mentioned a few times, but I didn't really hear much about like what that was or how it works or anything. This is really early in the CCI days. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I saw that and I just Googled curve correction and I ended up buying this device from Amazon. Um, it's like 20 bucks. It's really soft and it has kind of like a spring to it. It can like fold down. And I don't know, for me personally, it didn't do much. It doesn't push too hard on your neck. It's really soft and springy. And also, it's kind of bulky and tall. So I don't know. I felt like it was making my forward head posture even worse. It's probably the placement or something of it. So I didn't use it a ton. This one ended up in the dumpster, unfortunately. And then I thought maybe I'll do something a little bit more serious. So I got the posture pump, which is like, it's pretty strange. You put your forehead right here, you get strapped in, and then there's this sort of plastic apex with the bladder right here, and you inflate that with your hand. Um, Maybe for some people it works great. For me, it didn't work so well. It was just kind of strange, especially having my head strapped in and pulled back like that. I felt like it was adding more stress. And on the directions they say, if I remember correctly, it's been like a year and a half since this, but the idea is to pump and then deflate over and over and over, and sort of make an accordion effect on your cervical vertebrae and get more like moisture into the discs. That's what they say in their pamphlet, is that that's the sort of purpose of this device is. Where I don't know, I guess that's the same as curve correction. It's hard to say. I'm more like trying to stretch the ligaments and try to change the model of my spine versus just get water in there. So I don't know. It felt kind of odd, and I ended up throwing this one in the dumpster too. That one hurt. It was like 120 bucks or so, and yeah, I don't know. For me, it wasn't really doing it. So um, the curve correction that I ended up going with, that I still do today, is the Denneroll, and most people have seen this. Again, it's really important to get this done with the help of a doctor, because you can see this kind of like kind of faux X-ray. You can see like C1, C2, and C3 and all that. Um, the Denneroll has a pretty sharp apex to it, and it's not super soft. It is foam, but it's pretty damn firm. And personally, I just think you want to make sure that apex is at the right spot, so on the right vertebra. Because if you push this just an inch higher, you could be pushing on C2, C1, or even the skull and pushing your forward head posture, making that even worse. You're doing the exact opposite of what you should want to do. So, again, talk with the doctors on this. Here's what I did. So I went to a place in Chicago, and we did a standing, just like relaxed posture X-ray to show you how bad the curve is, and put that into posture ray and give you a nice report. And then they had me lay down on a Denneroll with the placement, right here, I think around C4 or C5 or so. And then redo that X-ray and show me recheck that curve, and like this is like right on the money. So hopefully the spine goes in that direction and models towards this right here. The more I do the Denneroll over and over. So I go back and forth on Denneroll. Sometimes I think it pushes on my like C7 area too much, and my arms get a little tingly afterwards, but they tend to recover. And yeah, I find relief. Generally, I'm trying to just get my like whole package, that whole C1, C2, and skull, and that whole area to go from here to on top of my shoulders, and part of that has been through curve correction. The other part of that that people don't talk about a ton, that Todd Ball actually helps out a lot with, is you can force a curve like this, but you can also get a similar effect by doing a thoracic extension. So your thoracic spine is like your upper torso spine, and if that is collapsed forward, if you can get that to go up like that, that's going to pull the whole package up, plus cervical curve. It's been generally my game plan to get that done, and it's done pretty well. So anyways, those are the curve correction products. And then um, people ask a lot about pillows and stuff like that, and that that's always that's been a never-ending battle, I would say, for me. What pillow to use and how to sleep and all that like that. That I'm always trying to figure that out. And generally, here's where I started. So I just searched cervical pillow on Amazon. I got this thing. Um, I still have it, but I don't like it. I've tried two of these, and the brands, or the two brands that I tried, I think it was this one and another one, I can't remember, but it's a little bit firm and it also pushes my head forward a little bit, whereas I'm trying to get my head and the whole package back over my shoulders again. So I don't know. I tried it many times, and it always made me, especially in the really dark days of CCI, it made me feel really crappy. So I didn't like this pillow at all. I tried a couple of them. And then I bought the Denneroll pillow, um, which looks like this. And this one's been fine. So it has a little Denneroll insert right here. Let me try to get a good picture of that. Yeah, there we go. So it has a little mini Denneroll inside of it that it's not as hard as your Denneroll for home for the curve correction like this. It's a much softer version of that, and you're essentially laying on a super soft version of the Denneroll all night. I can't really fall asleep on that thing, but I'll use it when I'm just like messing around on my phone trying to get to sleep or whatever, which isn't too bad. And then if you turn it sideways, it also has two kind of beveled edges. There you go. That kind of support your neck, that stick something right inside of here. That when if I'm on a flat pillow, I'm kind of like pushing all this into one flat angle, whereas the Denneroll pillow can put a little something right here. So again, this is something that was prescribed to me by the doctor. I think it was like 90 bucks or so. Generally, it's been pretty worth it. I use it. I go back and forth on it. It's been okay. Um, Not sure if it was worth all the money, but it wasn't bad. But now I just use a simple memory foam pillow. So I think I got this like 2 pack, and the ones that I like are the ones that you can take some of the memory foam out and make it more flat, or you can add more and make it more higher. So when I'm sleeping I have two. So when I'm sleeping on my back, the more flat one I will use, and I'll kind of push a little memory foam to fill this little gap in the back of my neck. Or if I'm on my side, I use a little bit higher one, and I will also kind of squeeze some of that right in here to support my neck. So that's how I generally sleep nowadays. And then I used some neck braces, but maybe I shouldn't have. Who knows if those made things better or worse, but there was a time where I couldn't get to the restroom without a hard neck brace. It was really scary. But anyways, I won't go too much into the bracing stuff, but with rehab and recovery and such, I do like the travel pillow. I haven't used it for months. I don't even know where it is, but as I moved through rehabilitation, more walking, more lifting, more, whatever, PT or whatever I was doing at the time. That evening, I can feel like crap pretty often, or the next day. And I found that for me, instead of bracing, just a big chunky travel pillow has been best. It does give some support and it kind of it's more of like a reminder to not move my neck too much and keep it off at the right posture and give you a little bit of protection. And also, when I sit down with this at my computer or whatever, I can even like rest my head a tiny bit on it as it fills this gap. So, uh, as I recover, I've found this to be better than using a brace, and I try not to use it too much. Some days, if I really jacked my neck up, I would use it for most of the day. Um, Most of the time, especially in the early stages of rehab, that evening, after I hit that first half mile walk or whatever, after being bedridden for some time, this thing was a pretty good lifesaver for me. Helped provide some relief. So I prefer that over the brace. And then on to rehab, and I know I owe everybody some videos on here, but I'm still like rounding out what to even do with these things. But I've got three or four things that I use as neck rehab devices. So the next level, if you haven't seen this, it's like a little platform on some bearings that can slide like this, and it has some like rubber bands attached to it that can add some resistance. So it'll make it hard to turn your head like this. It'll add resistance to that, or you can put it vertically, like this way instead of this way behind your head, and go up and down, and that will add weight to doing like a chin tuck sort of thing. And there's a variety of different movements you can do it, and generally it's been pretty good. It's really easy to use. It's really well built, and I like it. Um, in the beginning, it was really hard to progress with this thing, and I don't know. I keep trying to compare this to my iron neck device, trying to figure out which one is better. And at the end of the day, I don't think that one is better than the other. I think they're just so different. Now that I've had, 6 months to try each one and go back and forth a bunch of times, they are very different. And a lot of people think that maybe Iron Neck, it looks scarier than Next Level, looks more gentle. But honestly, like I think Iron Neck can be a lot more gentle if you do it right. In my experience, it's been easier to overload it, to progressively overload, to add more weight and more weight to it over and over. Also, it's more isometric focused, which is a good starting point, which has been a good starting point for me PT wise, and that's a pretty common route that people go, is like start off adding load isometrically. And by isometrically, I mean like just push on your forehead without any movement, and then push over here, push over here, push over here. That gets commonly prescribed by even like Dr. Henderson, this CCI neurosurgeon, and some other doctors in the space. Isometric can be a good route to start. Talk with your doctor, of course, but generally doing that is like a good starting point before you start adding weight to pushing isotonic stuff. You're adding weight and pushing against something that puts more stress on the ligaments. And yeah, Iron Neck I've found to be pretty effective for isometric stuff. Although I don't think it's necessary. I think you can get a lot of that done with just a simple neck harness, which also looks scary. Um, and yeah, I don't quite know. I'll get something going here soon, but I've progressed pretty far on both of those devices. And at the end of the day, I think they're both different, and I don't know if they're super necessary either. Iron Neck and Next Level, they're very expensive too. You can get a lot of this stuff done without either devices, so they just kind of make life a little bit easier. But anyways, those are all the devices that I use, and let me know if this is helpful. If you have any questions or whatever, I'm thinking the next thing I'll do is I need to make like an A to Z video of, starting off injury to the symptoms to recovery and then to now and then what's next. I also need to get like I'm a little hesitant to push out too much on rehab because it's just so different for everybody. But I know that everybody's kind of asking, like, what do I do? And maybe some people have never really spent a lot of time exercising or in the gym or known much about their body. So there's probably a lot that I could help out there as well. We'll figure out how to do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a YouTube AMA or like a live YouTube and people can ask me questions or something. I'm also super busy. So, trying to get my life now that, it's very weird. This is going off on a weird tangent now, but, so much of my life was just taken from me in one fell swoop. It was very, very scary, wondering if life was going to ever go back to normal or not. Um, yeah, dark days. And now that I can get up and I can go to the store and I can go to a restaurant and I can get on my bike and like I can go to the gym. Sometimes I'm on a mission. Like I'm gonna have an awesome, awesome day today because I just like it's just pent up after years of of this. So things aren't perfect, but now I really, really am grateful to go out and do things outside and like pet my landlord's dog or just have a chat with a neighbor or whatever. So pretty busy with just living a semi-normal life that takes up most of my time these days, to be honest. But I'll get it done, and maybe easiest way to do it is through YouTube Q&A style or something like that. But we'll figure it out. But yep, there's the devices.